I just want to go in and show the best version of me. And Owen always says, you never show 5% of what you're capable of.
Watch this. Boom! Right on the jawline. That was a big game changer right there for Leah McCort.
The tension around Dakota Ditcheva just hit another level, and this time it's coming from Ireland's own Leah McCort, a fighter who didn't just call her out, she sent a message that shook the entire women's MMA scene. McCort didn't ease into it with respectful callouts or careful words. She went straight for impact, openly declaring that she would break everyone in her path, and specifically target Dakota. That kind of statement isn't casual hype talk. It's the kind of line that instantly turns a potential matchup into something deeply personal. When a fighter speaks like that, they're not just asking for a fight, they're demanding a moment that could redefine their entire career. Leah McCort isn't some unknown trying to grab attention. She's a proven competitor with real experience, known for her grappling-heavy style and relentless mindset inside the cage. With a solid record and battles against tough opponents, she's built her name the hard way. Her strength lies in her ground game.
Sprinkle by TKO or KO, I will tell you the confidence that she's going to have now getting up is going to be unbelievable. And there it is.
Beautiful knee from the plum.
And Ditcheva beckons Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Oh, right hand.
In trouble.
And that doesn't. First round finish, and Dakota Ditcheva silences.
On the other, tight submissions, strong top control, and the ability to slow fights down and turn them into uncomfortable, grinding wars. Fighters like McCort don't need flashy knockouts to win. They win by dragging opponents into deep waters where technique, patience, and control matter more than highlight moments. That's exactly why her callout carries weight, because stylistically, she represents a genuine threat to someone like Dakota. On the other side stands Dakota Ditcheva, one of the most dangerous rising stars in women's MMA today. Undefeated, explosive, and technically sharp, she's built a reputation as a striker who doesn't just win, she dominates. Her Muay Thai background translates perfectly into MMA, with brutal knees, precise timing, and a calm, calculated approach that makes her incredibly difficult to deal with. She doesn't waste energy, doesn't rush, and rarely puts herself in bad positions. That's why so many fighters are now targeting her, because beating Dakota doesn't just give you a win, it puts your name on the map instantly. What makes this potential matchup so compelling is the classic clash of styles. Dakota thrives in space, where she can control distance and break opponents down with surgical precision. McCort wants the exact opposite: close range, clinch exchanges, takedowns, and prolonged ground control. If Leah manages to close that distance and bring the fight to the mat, the entire dynamic shifts. Suddenly, Dakota's striking advantage becomes less relevant, and the fight turns into a test of grappling defense, endurance, and composure under pressure. But getting to that position is the hardest part. Dakota's footwork, timing, and ability to punish entries make every takedown attempt risky. There's also a bigger narrative building here. Dakota Ditcheva is being positioned as the future face of women's MMA, a potential successor to legends like Valentina Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes. That kind of spotlight naturally attracts challengers. Fighters like McCort see her not just as an opponent, but as an opportunity, the fastest way to change their own career trajectory. For Leah, this isn't just about winning a fight. It's about flipping her entire story from contender to headline star. One victory over someone like Dakota could instantly elevate her into a completely different tier. But there's a harsh reality in MMA. Bold words don't win fights. Execution does. McCourt's path to victory is clear: pressure, clinch, takedowns.
Yeah, I think that's a great fight to happen. I think she's called for it, the fans called for it. You can see it across Twitter where we're saying, like, one of the dream fights they want to see is White House, myself, Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to do, like, fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who would want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything everybody wants to see and make that the fight.
Control. Dakota's path is just as clear: distance, precision, damage. The question is, the tension around Dakota Ditcheva just hit another level, and this time it's coming from Ireland's own Leah McCort, a fighter who didn't just call her out. She sent a message that shook the entire women's MMA.
If I think I could pick my next opponent, probably Dakota.
Isn't who talks better or who wants it more. It's who can impose their game when it actually matters. If Dakota keeps the fight standing, she likely continues her dominant run. If McCort turns it into a grappling battle, things get unpredictable very quickly. That's why this isn't just another callout. It's a legitimate stylistic threat wrapped in raw emotion and ambition. And whether this fight happens or not, one thing is certain: Dakota Ditcheva is no longer just rising through the ranks, she's become the target. Every dangerous fighter out there is lining up, believing they're the one who can finally crack the code. So now it comes down to a simple question. If these two ever share the cage, does Leah McCourt's grinding, grappling-heavy style break the undefeated streak? Or does Dakota Ditcheva do what she's always done? Stay composed, stay sharp, and remind everyone exactly why she's considered the future of the sport. The noise around Dakota Ditcheva just keeps getting louder, and this time it's not just hype, it's a wave of dangerous callouts coming from every direction. One of the most intense voices in that storm is Nedra Rep, a raw, aggressive knockout artist who didn't hold back for a second. She didn't deliver a polite challenge or a calculated callout. She came with pure intensity, promising to break Dakota's hype and prove she's the kind of monster the undefeated PFL queen has never faced before. What makes her different isn't just her record or her power, it's her background. Coming from a region shaped by conflict and survival, Nedra carries a mentality that doesn't bend under pressure. Her fights reflect that: forward movement, heavy hands, and a mindset focused on damage, not decisions. Every win on her record comes by knockout, and that alone tells you she's not interested in playing it safe. She wants to end fights, not win rounds. But calling out Dakota Ditcheva is a completely different level of risk. Dakota isn't just another prospect. She's one of the most dominant rising stars in women's MMA, undefeated, explosive, and technically sharp. With a Muay Thai base refined for MMA, she controls distance, picks shots with precision, and finishes opponents with brutal efficiency. Fighters like Nedra believe pressure can crack that style, that relentless forward aggression and chaos can disrupt Dakota's rhythm. And to be fair, that's the kind of test Dakota hasn't fully faced yet. A fighter who doesn't respect her space, doesn't fear her counters, and is willing to walk through fire just to land something devastating. That's where this potential matchup becomes fascinating. Clean,
Your headline, I think that'd be amazing. I think when Dakota's healthy, I would love a chance to be able to fight Dakota. One of the dream fights I want to see is White House, myself and Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to be able to do, like fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything everybody wants to see and make that the fight people's for.
She could start asserting some dominance on this round, in my opinion. Oh, long time, big ass.
Bishops and Bears. Stop. And Liz Carmouche pounds out a world tournament victory.
Calculated striking versus raw, unfiltered violence. Then you've got another serious threat entering the conversation: Fatima Klein. Unlike Nedra, Klein isn't relying on knockout chaos. She brings a completely different kind of danger. A Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt with strong ground-and-pound instincts, Klein represents the exact style that has historically troubled elite strikers. She made it very clear she's not interested in trading shots with Dakota. Her plan is simple: close the distance, drag the fight to the ground, and turn it into a grind where striking advantages disappear. Fighters like Klein don't need flashy knockouts. They win by breaking rhythm, exhausting opponents, and capitalizing on small mistakes. If she gets top control, the fight changes instantly. Dakota's challenge against someone like Klein would be discipline. Maintaining distance, defending takedowns, and punishing every entry attempt with sharp counters. And just when it feels like the list of challengers couldn't get more dangerous, another massive name steps in: Stamp Fairtex. This is where things shift from dangerous to potentially legendary. Stamp isn't just a fighter. She's a world-class striker with championship pedigree and real finishing ability across multiple disciplines. Her call-out carries weight because stylistically, this isn't striker versus grappler. It's elite Muay Thai versus elite Muay Thai, but with completely different approaches. Stamp brings creativity, unpredictability, and experience. Dakota brings precision, timing, and modern MMA adaptation. This wouldn't just be a fight, it would be a clash of generations and styles within the same art form. One mistake from either side could end everything instantly. What makes all these callouts so interesting is how different they are from each other. Nedra Rep represents chaos and raw power. Fatima Klein represents control and grappling dominance. Stamp Fairtex represents elite striking experience and creativity. Three completely different threats, all aiming at the same target. And that says everything about where Dakota Ditcheva stands right now in the sport. She's not just winning fights, she's become the benchmark. Beating her doesn't just add a win to your record, it changes your entire career. Still, the reality is this. Calling someone out and actually beating them are two very different things. Dakota's undefeated record.
The PFL has really gone behind your teammate Dakota Ditcheva. First off, what do you think of her performances so far this year?
Bro, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
Isn't an accident. It's built on discipline, fight IQ, and the ability to adapt under pressure. She doesn't panic, she doesn't rush, and she doesn't give opponents easy openings. That's why she's still at the top while everyone else is trying to figure her out. But the growing number of challengers, each with a unique and dangerous style, means one thing is inevitable. Sooner or later, she's going to face a fight where everything doesn't go according to plan. And that's when we'll find out the truth. Is Dakota Ditcheva really untouchable, or is she one perfect opponent away from being exposed? Because in MMA, hype doesn't last forever, but the right fighter, at the right moment, can change everything. Private Anderson doesn't get impressed easily. This is a man who has watched thousands of knockouts, built champions from nothing, and dismissed more hype trains than most fans can even remember. So when someone like Private Anderson pauses, even for a second, you know something different just happened. And that's exactly what happened after Private Anderson's latest brutal finish. This wasn't just another striker winning a fight. This looked like a future problem for everyone. The moment her name started getting mentioned alongside Dakota Ditcheva, the entire conversation shifted. Because what Private Anderson brings isn't just power, it's a system of destruction. Knees, elbows, pressure, body shots, everything comes with intent. Her recent performances haven't just been wins, they've been statements. One of her most talked about finishes came against Natalia Diatkova at One Fight Night 22, where she didn't chase a flashy knockout. Instead, she broke her opponent down piece by piece. No wasted movement. No unnecessary risk. Just calculated damage to the body.
Even though I look up to her a lot, I still want to be in her position and be able to beat someone like her. So.
You could fight any female right now. Who would you want to go with?
Valentina Shevchenko right now. I want to be at the top.
This is legacy versus legacy to be. Valentina is one of the most well-rounded fighters in MMA history. She reads opponents like code, downloads your game in real time, and exploits the first bug she finds. Dakota? She's got that unorthodox rhythmic striking that could actually throw Valentina off early. Long knees, feints, switch kicks from odd angles. But here's where Reggie gets real. Dakota still needs more 5-round reps. Her pace can dip late, and Valentina is the queen of championship round adjustments. Still, imagine a fully dialed in Dakota with sharpened counter wrestling and championship caliber cardio on point. If she dethrones Shevchenko, especially by spectacular knockout, it wouldn't just be an upset. It would catapult Dakota into instant superstardom and turn her into a household name overnight. We're talking late show appearances, global endorsements, the works. That's the rocket ship moment everyone's waiting on, and it would stamp her GOAT application in permanent ink.
Until the collapse was inevitable. What made it even more dangerous? She walked into that fight without a title, stripped for missing weight, and still delivered one of the most clinical beatdowns of her career. That's not emotion. That's instinct. And that instinct didn't come overnight. Born in 2004 and raised in Thailand's fight culture, she didn't grow up learning combat sports casually. She lived them. At just 17, she became one of the youngest Muay Thai world champions in history under one championship. Her nickname, the Hurricane, isn't branding, it's a warning. With a striking record stacked with wins and finishes, she doesn't outpoint opponents. She overwhelms them. She breaks posture, breaks rhythm, and eventually, breaks fighters. So when she made her MMA debut in 2026, the real question wasn't whether she would win.
come back, what are you looking forward to?
I mean, I have just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great...
It was how quickly she would adapt. The answer